Can you speak about memory and how it works for you? My memory has changed a lot the last 3 years. Basically, I forget a lot. Sometimes my body remembers the situation, but I have to think really hard to remember the story. Other times I remember the story but can't feel how it felt. Does that make sense? In some situations, I'm afraid of making mistakes because I forget things. But on the other hand, it feels like it frees energy in the system to forget things easily. Yeah, I think so. I'm super forgetful. I always have been, but it did get worse with this subject. I think it's I think it's great because your body there's like a letting go of things really quickly. The difficulty that can come in relationships is that I can get confused about what happens. So um, so somebody says, "Did you do this or did you do that or did you say this or did you say that?" And I can't actually remember. Um, so that's the difficulty part of it. But yeah, I think that having a bad memory is such a blessing. I mean, like it's also not such a blessing with certain things, like practical things, but it's a blessing because everything passes through really quickly. I did hear a doctor speak on once that they think that the separate self and the memory are very tightly connected. So you remember when you were a child, and this is how they explained it to me. I don't know if it's true, I've never looked inside the brain, I've never dissected the brain, but you know when you're a child. So when I was 6 years old, I remember that like a year ago seemed like infinity. So I remembered what I did the summer before, and it was like so distant and far away, and it felt like such a long time a year ago. And you know, I remember really thinking about something we did, and and it just seemed so distant. And I just remember a year being like this amazing thing that was, yeah, just amazing. And that time and how far away it was. And then, as as I got older, my memory improved, and a year seemed a lot closer. As I got older, each year that turned over, it was almost like it was just last summer. It wasn't very long ago to last summer. And this is, as you get older, your sense of self also gets stronger. So, and your sense of self is always based a lot in time, a lot in memory and future projection, like where you've been and where you're going. And so what doctor said to me once is he assumed that the sense of self is tightly connected with the memory muscle. And so when your sense of self, like that sense of who you are changes, there's a lot less energy that's going into that memory muscle. And so your memory is not as good, it becomes less, which kind of made sense to me because a lot of speakers that I've spoken to, they've also found their memory changes. But you know, who knows? If you had amazing memory your whole life, then maybe you carry on having an amazing memory. Um, like I don't want to put it into any categories for you. Like any categories for you to think this is the way it's got to be. She's saying that I'm never going to get it.